I know you're a monster. I know you're a monster. I know you're a monster.
I think that that's way better than the other song that we had.
Well, I can't
Um,
get copyrighted for that.
no, that's a Vera Coach original right there.
I know anybody use it, I'm fucking copyright striking them on YouTube.
DCMA, bitch.
All right. Whew. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess let's fucking do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Fucking do
Sounds
it.
good. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Episode 75 of Those Two Nerds. I'm Vera Coach, as always.
And I am Nictus from Nictus Plays Games. I am not nervous and I am totally comfortable right now in front of the microphone.
Good to know. And there should be no excuse why everybody's not here right now because I know the Browns aren't on until 8:15 tonight. So,
Well, we are kind of late-ish.
kind of.
Not really
But that
that
gave people
bad.
more time to get a Taco Bell on the way home
Yeah, I
before they had to
mean,
listen to us.
by the way, if Taco Bell, anyone is listening from Taco Bell, we would love a sponsorship. Because we love Taco Bell and we will promote your product on air every week.
I will do nothing but Those Two Nerds eat Taco Bell every Sunday.
I'll sacrifice my body for your company. I mean, I'm already doing it for free, so
Well, kind of speaking of that, so you know those people that do like the crazy videos of them just eating, like the ASMR like eating.
no, I
Okay.
don't.
Okay, so let me see if I
Don't.
can
That's
find
that's
it.
not a thing that I have watched. So no, that's a thing.
Okay. Yes, it is. But I was going to show
I
you
don't even like to
a.
watch people that I like eating, like people that I'm close to. I don't even want to watch that. More or less, watch a stranger eat.
Okay, let me see if I can find this guy here, because like I kind of there. Well, basically, there's this YouTuber. When he first started out, like I mean, this guy was super skinny, like maybe 140 pounds wet,
And now he's
soaking
not,
wet.
because all he
He's
does is
like
just eat.
he's like it's bad. Like you don't even notice that. Like to me, like I don't like even myself. I've definitely gotten bigger over the
It
years.
creeps up on you, bro. It does. It's fact.
Like you don't notice it until you look at pictures.
Yeah. Then you look at your pictures and you go, man, I used to be kind of hot. What happened?
Yeah. And then you start realizing, man, Taco Bell twice a day.
Twice a day, not twice a week, man. Let's not kid
Yeah.
ourselves.
Twice a
They
day,
serve
eating
breakfast
out
now.
every day. Yeah, eating out every day, and I just need to go back to like like my League of Legends days where I'd play League of Legends for like 12 hours a day and not eat.
And you wouldn't eat, but I'll honestly, you know why you used to be thinner? It has nothing to do with your eating habits.
Activity level.
Yeah, you used to be on your feet how many hours a week working at Dave and Buster's?
No, that's when I got big.
No, it's not when you got big. You didn't get big until you started working for the programming place.
Dude, when I
I want you
started
to
at
go
Dave and
back
Buster's.
and rewind the
No, no, no,
clock,
no.
bro.
Wait. When I started at Dave and Buster's,
When you
I was
started doing
150 pounds.
okay,
150.
yeah,
150. Okay. I worked at Dave and Buster's for 2.5, 3 years
hmm
almost. I now weigh 215.
you no, okay, hold on.
There's
I
no
want
way
you,
I gained 50 pounds in a year.
dude. You gained 50 pounds in a year.
It's not possible.
Go back to the footage, bro. Go back to and look at the pictures when we first built my computer, which was in September of 2019. You were still
Now
working at Dave and Buster's then.
you're going to make me do it.
I'm going to make you do it. I want you to look at the picture of you building the computer in 2019 versus a picture of you in 2020 in September around the same time.
I'm working on
It,
All right,
your
scale
your
photo.
your activity level went to shit.
The best way to look at it is go if even if I just go well, it's kind of there. It's kind of there in the
Not
June 17th.
really. I mean, that was like the normal Taco
So
Bell
like I'm
build.
on my Facebook right now.
Yeah.
So like yeah, before oh man. Let's see here. So this is okay, so this is April. April, I would say like I was probably about 175. Probably in April. Okay, this is the picture that creeps me out. All right, I'm gonna screen share real quick. It's gonna throw off your video just a little bit, maybe depends on how you have it. Yeah, how you have it. Okay. All right, so we're gonna have it set for a second because it's gonna
Oh,
look
dude, you totally
so-
effed up my whole screen.
okay. So you can see this. I'm only gonna show you this for like a quick second. So you see this, obviously, like that's just before 2019 hit.
There we go. Yeah, that was not long. You kind of look like a crackhead there with that
That's what I'm
dirty
saying. So
with that dirty
like
porn stash.
like that's crackhead, and even here like
Uh,
so,
no one
so,
actually
like
no one actually can see all of these pictures.
that's
So,
fine. I look
but
old in this.
actually they can't see anything. It looks like nothing right now. It looks like we have
That's
no
fine.
idea how to fucking run a show.
That's fine. But then like you hit here and it's like, god damn.
Well, you know, you're in control of your destiny. Don't forget that.
Oh, I know. But 2020, I'm coming for the championship.
Like, and so and the prime example of that is when I left Spencer's. Okay,
Mhm.
I looked like a skinny crackhead. I probably weighed 190 pounds, which is the smallest I've ever been in my adult life. And this is coming from a dude that at the time I used to eat Chinese food probably 4 times a week, not the white rice either. We're talking the fried rice with the orange chicken and egg rolls, and I drank green Monster Energies and sodas, and I ate terrible. I ate
But how much
Wendy's, but I was on
how
my
much soda
feet
do you
like
think you
a lot.
Yeah. Well, you're also
Dude,
moving a little
I
bit
only
more.
slept like 3 or 4 hours a night sometimes, and then I'd
Yeah.
go and be out all night partying and doing whatever, and then I'd go into work and do that.
See, like I
So,
think it's just your like I said, it's an active lifestyle.
well, now I
And like I
switched
said,
jobs, right? Now I sit at a desk all day,
well, the big
and
thing for me was Dave and Buster's. Dave and Buster's got me for a little bit because here's the thing: you eat at Dave and Buster's, and that's like 15 to 1600 calories a meal. And like I was just snacking, so it's all like fried food, all stuff that like clogs the arteries up, and like that kind of stuff. So like you look at that and you're like, all right, well, because you know, obviously Tadasu Utari. I mean, obviously Noah. He's he stepped on the scale for the first time, and I won't disclose how much he weighed, just because he never told me I could.
but
But he told.
it was probably upsetting.
So he got on there and he was like, because like he always shakes it off, like he always makes a joke about it. He's like, damn.
Yeah, I
So
mean
he was like,
we all kind of do. That's just kind of what we do.
well, like I said, I mean, with weight, it fluctuates so much. I mean, it really does. Like one day you could have lost 6 pounds and then somehow you gain 2 pounds. Like the next day you weigh
It also
yourself.
can. Yeah, I mean, it depends on like how much you shit. And
Yeah.
if that was true,
Your water weight.
I should weigh way less because I shit so much more now since I've moved. I'm not
Yeah.
really sure why I do. I just do.
Yeah. So same. Actually, same here.
It's weird.
Maybe
Like
it's
I used to be like a once a day shitter. I used to come home every day at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And it was time for my shit every day. I still have the 5:30, 6 o'clock shit, but now sometimes it gets pushed back till 6:30, 7 o'clock, depending on what time I get
Yeah.
home that day. But still,
Well,
it's right after work. My body goes, "Hey, you're home from work. Spanish fly for your asshole. It's time to do this. Let's get into the bathroom."
so like he's pretty much right now he's cut out all fast food except Subway. That's the only fast food he'll get. And he gets it like once a week. So he's already down in 2 weeks, almost 20 pounds
You know,
in
the
two
other
weeks.
thing is that he's on his feet. He's moving around. He had an activity level of nothing, and now he works a job where he is on his feet 8 to 10 hours a day.
Well, he was also ordering Domino's pizza 4 days a week and, eating
How can
eating
you
whole
eat?
life.
Listen, I love pizza. I do. I love it. I get pizza once a week. I probably order Donato's at least at least once a week. No more than that unless I have company come over, which I very rarely do. But once a week. But that pizza lasts me like 3 or 4 meals. I get a large, and it's like 4 meals for me, which is still like a lot of
He
pizza. You probably shouldn't,
he
but
eats one. He eats one large, the breadsticks, the pasta bowl.
no, no,
Like
no.
it's like a 4,000 calorie. Like this is like the Rock cheat day type thing, but the Rock also works out 4 times a day.
The Rock burns like 10,000 calories a
Yeah,
day. So,
oh, I know. What I'm
so
trying
when
to
he's
say is,
like, I'm gonna eat 7 pizzas today, okay,
yeah.
that's not really a
So
cheat day for you. That's just you just eating because if not, your body will start eating itself.
so basically, that's what I've been working on, and I know everybody has like the 2021, like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose so much weight.
Oh, you're talking about the New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, like start small. If you just say, man, I'm just gonna watch what I eat. Like that's kind of how we started. Was like me and Maggie both sat down and was like, I think we're gonna sit down and just like start meal prepping. One, it's a great way to like never have to worry about what you have to eat for that night. You don't have to sit there and like question it. It's already done, made. Like you
That's
don't
one
have
of
to
my
worry about
least
cooking.
least favorite things about being an adult is, when you're a kid, you used to bitch and complain like, "Mom, I don't want that for dinner. I don't want macaroni and cheese and tuna, whatever for dinner." But now,
Yeah,
like, now you have to figure out what you're gonna eat every day,
yeah,
multiple times a day.
yeah. I will say I am proud of myself because I do work from home and I do work next, like very close to like a Taco Bell, Wendy's, all that stuff. I rarely ever eat out for lunch.
I don't hardly eat out for lunch anymore. It just kind of depends on what's going on. I take
90%
my
of the time, that's
I
like a
take my
sandwich.
lunch. I would say probably 3 or 4 days a week now.
Yeah.
And I might go out once a week or sometimes twice if I'm just like, man, I don't really feel like eating soup today, or I don't really feel like eating a PB&J, like I don't feel like that today. So
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm trying to work on, just like little small things. I'm gonna try to like right now, like this month is like I'm gonna focus on going to the gym, trying to go to the gym as much as I can. And like I don't care if it's for 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, whatever.
it doesn't matter. You're
Like
going.
I said,
You
that's
still
the
had to
goal.
get in your car or walk or take a bus, or you had to you had to move to get there, right? So
Yeah.
that's already something. That's way more than I did. Like I get winded going to the next room sometimes. So it's I found
Yeah.
I don't breathe properly. I don't know if you've ever noticed this about me. I hold my breath. My watch yells at me all the time and says you're not breathing enough. I'm like, how do you
Uh
know? Stop judging me.
I do the same thing. I
But
like
I mean, I hold my breath like when nothing exciting's happening. I'll be sitting there just like reading something on the internet and I'm not breathing, and my watch goes beep beep beep. I'm like, what? And it's like you need to breathe. I'm like, "Fuck you, stop telling me how to live my life."
he's like beep beep.
So
That's you're
I
working on your
don't
breathing
breathe
exercise.
like I don't breathe like
I
enough.
get made fun of. I get
I
made fun
hold
of
my
for how I
breath a
breathe.
lot. So
Yeah.
it always
I
sounds like I'm out of breath sometimes, and it's because my body goes, "Hey, you weren't breathing there for like 5 minutes, you asshole," and I'm starved for oxygen.
well,
So
I get made fun of for how I breathe. So like when I'm really like in the moment, like concentrating on something, I will like breathe like the guy that you never want in your party chat. Like all you can hear is like
that's the
mic up in the
worst.
nose.
So there's guys that like I'll go to their YouTube pages and I'll watch videos about something I'm genuinely interested in, right? Something that I genuinely want to watch, and I have to turn the video off because all you hear is, and then we go to the, and I'm like I can't handle that like mouth breathing in the microphone. It sounds like you are getting a blowjob right now, and you're trying to like hold back the excitement of you getting the BJ. Or it sounds like you're doing strenuous work and all you're doing is sitting at a chair trying to talk to me and you're showing me this
Yeah.
thing. Or are you getting a BJ off camera and we don't know it?
Yeah, no, I always laugh. Like I said,
I don't
it
think we've
every
ever
time
said that. I don't think we've ever said that word on the show. And I apologize
what
for our viewers at home.
what BJ?
Blowjob. I actually said blowjob.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Three times now.
Someone
Put your
get him a
kids to
clap.
bed. This is not a kid friendly show. Oh, look at that. The viewers just ticked up. So that must mean something.
Yeah.
Hey Gina, I got a LOL palm face. She's laughing at the fact that I don't breathe. So you guys don't understand that when I used to raid with you guys, we go in to do the bosses on the dungeons, and there's a couple times I thought I was gonna pass out from not breathing when I'm trying to do what we're supposed to do, and I'm like, shit, we got to do this again because we'd wipe. We'd have to go back and try it again, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't make it through the last like 15 minutes without breathing. I don't think I can do this again for another couple of hours.
So I don't know. It's something, maybe I'm weird. Maybe because like, so what we were just talking about FPSs before we got on the show. I love to be in that moment of a 1v3 clutch. Like, heart literally feels like it's about to pop out of your fucking chest. Like, you may or may not shouldn't have ate those like 20 chicken nuggets before you started playing, clogged the artery, like heart pounding stuff. And I don't breathe the whole time I play.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I promise you I can compete with Michael Phelps on a breathing contest. Like, but oh my god, like the sigh of relief after you
It's
you
like
do
the best.
something that
It's
you
like the best
like,
oxygen you've ever breathed in your life. You're like, yes, my lungs work. Yes.
yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, I think that's just like I either breathe like through my nose, very very rapid. Like Maggie makes fun of me for it.
Me
all the time.
too.
She's like,
I do it too.
she's like, "Do you have something wrong with you? Like, do you have
No, I
asthma
don't. Do you?
or something?"
Stop judging
And
me.
like I will breathe quick. Like they're fast, rapid breaths. Like it's like I'm dry heaving, but I'm like, no, that's just how I'm always breathe. I don't know what's the correct breathe this way. Like,
I believe it's breathed.
always breathe this way.
Breathed. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't know. We're not a grammar show, so. But I adore her. She's funny. She's hilarious.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the Apple Watch and it just fucking yells at me like, "Hey, are you dying?"
It does. It tells me that all the time. I actually was more concerned about like my heart rate and stuff, right? That's another reason why I got it, because if your heartbeat is beating irregular or whatever, like it'll tell you, hey, like your heart's probably beating too fast, and we notice that you're not doing anything, you fucking lazy ass. Why is your heart beating so fast? I've only had that a little alert go off one time, and it freaked the shit out of me. And I was really pissed off at the time. And I was in an argument with someone and I was yelling, and I don't think I was breathing a lot either, which obviously does not help. And so I
It's like I would have yelled too more, but
I was just like, I need 5 minutes, okay? Because I think my heart is about to pop out of my chest. And then when I stopped and I was checking my physically checking my pulse, I was like, holy shit! I feel like I'm about to blow a blood vessel here. I feel like I'm about to die. This is not good. And I know a lot of it was because I wasn't breathing. Because when I get excited about stuff, much like these fat fucks on the internet that do YouTube videos, they don't breathe, they just talk, and that's why it sounds like they're mouth breathers. So, you know.
and so, especially when you're like pushing out like a whole bunch of words and you haven't you still need to catch your breath, but you still just keep talking.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're
down
winded.
to like the last,
and all you're doing is just talking. You're not doing anything strenuous at all. But you know what? I do more in my brain than most people do at the gym in a month. So in one day.
Well, that's what
my brain is strong.
I missed my turn to the gym today, and I pulled into the library, and I was like, "We're gonna train our brain today.
We're gonna train the brains today. It's just as important to do the brain training as it is the body training sometimes. You know that, right? You gotta keep your mind sharp and.
Oh, for sure.
So we did our inventory, right? And this is like the thing I'd been dreading all last year.
Yeah.
So we did that, and it basically consists of a lot of just typing. For me and pretty much a bunch of other people in the various departments for data entry. So it's well known within my company that I type really fast. And I believe I have the record for the most number of lines typed ever in one inventory.
Okay.
I think at some point...
At least you don't have the records doing lines.
Exactly. At one point, they actually had the data up on like a big screen TV, and it was like the guy from inventory and then one of the other guys in accounting, and they were refreshing, and it was showing like the updates. And the one guy goes, it was like 5 seconds. He did that one line in like 5 seconds. Is he copying and pasting? Which we're not supposed to do. We have to physically type everything in. So yeah, I'm kind of like the stuff of legends. And I said, actually, my whole family types pretty fast. I was like, we could just send everybody else home, and just bring my brother in, Haley, Aaron, and we could probably have all this done in like an hour.
Yeah.
Like all of us type really fast.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I told so you're like Mike Wazowski. No, wait, Mike Wazowski's the blue guy.
yeah.
No, it's Solly. That's Solly. Solly's the blue guy.
Well, like
Mike
to kind of put it
Wazowski.
in comparison, like the last time I checked what the score was, the closest person to me had typed in like 550-ish lines, and I
Yeah.
typed in 1150.
See, I feel like as soon as you hit your 550, somebody else should have to pick up the rest of the fucking slack.
I mean, I did the work of like 3 fucking people, which is
That's fair.
why they've never put me on any other duty other than data entry for inventory, because
It's
it
not a
would
bad
be
idea.
it would be silly to put me anywhere else. So what
He's
can
like, I
say?
don't know how to count, but I can type.
I can't count, and I can't double check other people's work. And I didn't make a lot of mistakes. I mean, but you're gonna have human error. I mean, that's why we have QC people checking them. I think I made like 3 or 4 mistakes, which is not bad. I'll take that. They weren't even like really huge mistakes, and I fixed 3 of them. So whatevs.
Just a legend,
So yeah, we got through that. That was my New Year's. So
All right. Well, let's kind of jump into it for a little bit. We got we got some time.
okay.
Um,
What are we jumping into?
Well, let's talk about, like the little appreciation for the 7-time world Tetris champion that unfortunately passed away yesterday.
No, it was this week. Yeah, I don't remember when. It
This
was
week.
yesterday or the day before. And I
Uh,
can't pronounce his name. So
I'll look up the YouTube video real quick because they say his name like 9,000 times.
I've watched this guy though, right? Like I've watched
Oh yeah,
him. I've watched YouTube videos of him, and he does stuff with Tetris that you're just like, what? He's a god. Was a god at Tetris. They didn't really reveal
yeah,
exactly what had happened to him, but they just said medical complications, and
yeah.
it's a big
Medical
loss
emergency.
to the gaming community as a whole. They say he was a very pleasant guy. Even in interviews and stuff, he seemed like he was a pretty upbeat, chipper dude.
I just couldn't imagine that. Like, he was only 36.
Yeah,
Crazy to think about.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Ned Bauer.
when it's your day, man, it's your day. Like you can't stop it, you can't prevent it. All you can do is, cause listen, you can live through a lot, right? You can live with, uh, now like they can replace parts of your heart, and they can give you surgery, and they can cut off parts of your body, and they can give you new organs and stuff. So like you can live through a lot, but what's your quality of life gonna be, right? So like, but then you hear about car crashes and brain aneurysms and heart attacks and like,
Yeah, Dr. Dre.
yeah,
Brain aneurysm.
yeah, like
Lives.
he's alive. Well, that's because he's too gangster even for dying. I mean, I mean, when you're talking about somebody like Dr. Dre or Ice Cube or something like, you expect one of those guys to, if they've lived this long, like they're gonna be an old man in their bed, right? They're gonna be 75,
Oh.
90 years old, somewhere in that range, and they're just gonna die of old age. That's just what's gonna happen.
Oh,
You don't expect a guy in his like 50s brain aneurysm out of nowhere, right? Like, but I don't. If they knew about that, then they would have did something about it. But it's one of those things they don't typically. There's no warning signs of that usually. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, well, like I kind of made the joke because this was after I knew it was okay. Calm down, everybody at home, before you get all Twitter warriors on me. Like Dr. Dre, he's having that divorce,
Mhm.
and she wants $2 million a month,
Yeah, that's a lot.
and she's gonna get it. And I said,
Oh,
that's
she will.
probably why he's
She'll get it.
that's probably why he's stressing. He's gonna pay somebody $2 million a month. Like divorces just don't make sense to me at all.
No.
Like imagine if you didn't work. Like why do you think you deserve $2 million?
I don't understand the ramifications of it, especially if. But I guess if you supported someone and you sacrificed and helped them become famous, or you helped them
Yeah.
live out their life and stuff, I could see getting like a lump sum. Like, all right, you were here for this long, you contributed, you helped with kids and family and all that stuff. Here's a lump sum of here's $10 million, which is like more than most people would ever need in their whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what he's worth. I'm just saying, well, you deserve a percentage, and that's it. This is what you get. You get a lump sum. Not
Yeah.
you don't get an alimony check of $2 million a month for life. Are you serious? Get out of here. No,
Yeah.
there's no. You didn't do
Um,
that much. Not for two
well, that's
million
what
a
I'm saying.
month.
If you say, "Well, I took care of the house," I'd be like, "I'd hire a maid, pay her $1 million a
I
month."
mean, you make that much money, you probably can hire a maid. No
Oh
sweat.
yeah.
You can probably hire the best maids.
Yeah.
They come in and they
But
actually like
like,
do the little folding thing on the toilet paper and everything. You know what I mean? Like the
uh,
little special techniques for when you make that much
well,
money.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk became the richest person in the world.
Yeah, he passed. What's his name?
Bezos.
Bezo. Yeah. F all those guys. Like they have so much money. It just it makes me want to vomit.
I tried to explain to Danny. I'm like, because he always argues with me about this. He's like, "What do you think Jeff Bezos does with his money?" I'm like, "You don't understand.
He probably has an island somewhere where he hunts people.
The majority of Jeff Bezos' money is in the shares of the company."
Well, he did get divorced, and his woman now gets like she was like the
Well,
second richest person or something in the world because she took like half of his money. So
well, like that's my thing. Like, I
but look at
try to
that dude.
tell him like,
I buy a lot of shit off of Amazon. So, I like the idea, but he's kind of a creepy looking dude. He looks like he's done some immoral things. I'm not gonna say what, because it could be anything, but he just looks like he's done things you shouldn't do.
all he needs is the little like serial number on the back of his head, and he can be Agent 42.
It's just
Which that game's
it's something about his eyes, man. Like he's got creepy eyes. Every picture I've ever seen,
talk about Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg's a fucking alien.
I don't think he's from Earth at all.
No,
And I don't think the
he
guy
can't
that
be.
does the Simpsons is from Earth either. Or if he is, he's from some weird alternate future of the Earth.
Or he's got a time machine.
I can't remember that dude's name either, but I love the Simpsons. I like Futurama a lot more, but I love the Simpsons.
It's just been so crazy, like how much they get right.
At some point, you got to go. Maybe he is from the future. Maybe he's like Nostradamus reincarnated, and he has a fucking crystal ball somewhere for all we know. He's like, I wonder what weird shit we can put in the show. Maybe he has like dreams, right? Maybe he's not from the future. Maybe he just like dreams this shit up, puts it in there because he thinks it's funny, and then oh shit, that happened. Oh my bad.
But like, because like some of the stuff is pretty like wide range. So like with the whole like Capitol building stuff that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
So they compared it to Simpsons that on January 20th, 2021, like pretty much like apocalyptic type style, like buildings all burning around you, and like Homer's just up on top of the roof drinking a Duff beer with like his M16, like holding down the fort. Like I'm like, that's not that far stretch because of like how crazy last year was.
yeah.
Like, okay, like I could believe it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. Because you could say like any movie that's ever done it. Now, don't get me wrong, they be putting fucking dates now. Now he's getting real spicy with this shit. He's like, we ain't waiting no more. Like we're gonna get real spicy with it.
We're gonna
We're
put the
gonna
date of when this is gonna happen. So,
throw
could you
I
imagine
mean,
though, honestly, if The Simpsons was like a portal into the future, right? And the guy that creates the show has been throwing us all these little clues about what the future is going to bring, and we've just been entertained, right?
yeah.
And if you don't watch The Simpsons or you don't follow it, we have no idea what's going to happen next, right?
Or hear me out with that. When he passes on and dies, he just writes, "I fucking tried to tell you guys."
How do you think? All right, this is a fun topic. How do you think The Simpsons is going to end? Because they've done everything on The Simpsons. At this point, I don't even know what they're doing anymore. Because the newer episodes, no offense to the cast and crew, like they still have some funny stuff that happens in the shows, but like I don't even know what they're doing on the shows anymore. The stories don't even really hardly make any sense because they've done everything. I mean, everything that can happen in a
Well,
sitcom
there's over.
or a show has happened. So they're almost like retreading new ideas now at this point. I mean, and South Park is almost in that same boat. Like they've just been on for so long that if there wasn't stuff going on in the world, because South Park tries to stay a little bit more current,
South
then
Park pretty much picks a main issue to go on during
yeah,
the season,
each
and then
season.
they run with that. But like I said, I mean,
So how do you think
fucking.
that The Simpsons can end at this point? The show's been on for 25 years or something like that. It's been on forever.
I think
How do you think
that.
they end that show? Do you think that Fox is ever going to let that show end? Because they just keep renewing it because people are still watching it.
So I think with The Simpsons, I think you know, if it would come to an end, it would be somewhere along the lines of like Homer and Marge die.
Just Homer and Marge?
Yeah. And like Bart and all them, they're all grown up. Maggie is all grown up, and they just go their separate ways.
Well, as long as it's not as weird and twisted as the conclusion to Saint Elsewhere, which you don't remember that show. But like the show was like this medical drama. It was on the 80s. There's a bunch of stars that got their start on Saint Elsewhere that went on to do other stuff. Like Howie Mandel was on the show, and that's the only guy that I can remember off the top of my head. But there was other people that were big in, that got their start
Yeah.
there or whatever.
Yeah.
And at the end, like the final episode, you find out that basically the whole show has been taking place inside this little kid's head, and that the hospital that was in the show was actually inside of a snow globe. And one of the main doctors that was on the show is this guy basically diagnosing this kid with having, I don't remember exactly what it was. They may not even have a name for it, like so, but it was all in his head. And that was kind of a weird thing because of that show. It was kind of like what's the one medical show that's been on for forever?
Grey's Anatomy?
No, the other one. There's the other one, like
ER?
ER. It was kind of like that show,
Yeah.
but like before that show. So like medical dramas have been on for a while, and they're always really popular. So that was like a weird way to make that show end. But you get to a point with a show that it's like, how do you end it? A prime example of that is Game of Thrones, right? There's no way I feel that they could have ended Game of Thrones that would have made everyone happy. If you make all the fans
No.
happy, then the people that are doing the show are unhappy because they didn't get to do the show that they wanted to do. And
Well,
if you make the actors happy that have been playing the characters all this time, then the fans, some of them may like it. You'll have division that way. But it's like you have a show that's that powerful, it's that popular, and everybody loves it. It's got to end at some point.
well,
How
you
do
can
you
go
make
down
it
the
end?
list. I mean, you can go down the list. So Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory ended perfectly.
I felt
You
that
know,
The Big Bang Theory was one of the only shows that had a decent ending. It wasn't
like I
the
said,
best ending, but it ended decently.
well, Sheldon gets his Nobel Prize, and they finish off with them all sitting there gathered around the couch, eating, just like how they always done at the end of the theme song.
You know, the other
They're
thing
sitting there eating.
I liked about that show that I didn't think I was gonna like was Penny and Leonard, when they finally got back together for the final time. They stayed together the rest of the show. I really
Okay.
kind of thought that when they broke up the one time that it was just gonna kind of be like that's how that show was gonna be, was them getting together and then not being together. And
It's going to be a Robin and Ted Mosby.
yeah, I thought it was gonna be like another fucking How I Met Your Mother, and it was just gonna be frustrating to me.
Dude,
Um,
I watch How I Met Your. I turn on that show at
the ending
least
of
once
that
a
show
week.
just pissed me off.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So you have another circumstance like that where how do you end the show? The show's so great. Do you have him ride out into the sunset of like he got his woman?
It's not even
Okay.
the final episode that made me angry, or the final two episodes, because it was
The
a
final
two-parter.
season was terrible.
The whole final season was just a really piss poor concept.
Suspect.
I mean, like the show, like it was funny. It had funny moments. I'm not saying that the episodes weren't entertaining. They were. It's just that the
Yeah.
concept of the entire final season taking place over the span of 24 hours was dumb. When they could have used that time
You
to
never
actually
seen Jack Bauer?
that's the
Ever
whole
seen-
show
you never-
though. Like
you never
their
seen
whole
24?
their whole premise of that show was one day. They already did that. It was called 24, and it was amazing.
Show. That's another good one.
Great show, but
Always promised to be in theaters, never made it.
never made it. But the thing is with that show is that I feel that they could have used the entire last season to build up more of the relationship with Ted and the mother, and they didn't do that. She
They
was in like
they
some
killed her off so
flashbacks and
quickly.
stuff, and then yeah, but now she's dead, and you're like, I don't really. I mean, she's cool, but I don't really feel that emotional about the fact that she's gone. And I wanted to feel some emotion behind it. I didn't really feel anything. I was like, yeah, she's cool, but I don't really
And then
know
he
her
goes to
that well.
Robin. And then he goes to Robin.
So
Like, my thing was, in all honesty, how bad the last season was. And then I look at the grand scheme of the whole show. And I'm like, man.
I normally when I rewatch it because I've rewatched it a lot, I usually skip the final season, just because
Yeah.
the show for me ended at season 8. I'm like, nope, season 8's for me. That's the end of the show because I feel that they should just did so much more with the final season. Again, I don't mind how the show ended. Like if you
Yeah.
want to kill the mother off, and yeah, we're totally spoiling the whole thing. The show's been
If
off
you
the
haven't
air
seen
now
that,
for I don't know how long, but it's been a while. But if you want to kill the mom off and do that, that's fine.
so
But make me care about it. I didn't feel like I cared about it. Just when I was starting to kind of go, yeah, she's kind of cool. I think she's neat. Oh, she's dead now. Okay. Well, that was fun. So, yeah.
So somebody had. I'll have to see if I can find it. It's like that How I Met Your Mother predicted, like 2020 lockdown type thing. Because like you know how he's telling the story to the kids. Well, they think that story is like a whole span. It's not just like, oh, they sat down one time and he's going to tell them the whole story. It's like over time. So like the kids are always at home because they're in a lockdown because of COVID.
Well, I think that's looking into it a little bit much.
I thought I was looking into it a little deep, but I was like, that's
I
kind of cool.
think
They
I
had
think
some good points.
I think that the show really was supposed to be like him just sitting down and telling them about it in the span
Like
of
what?
like a couple of hours, or maybe in an
I
evening or
mean,
something. Because like they're wearing the same clothes. They filmed a bunch of scenes with the kids ahead of time because they were getting older. The kids knew the ending of the show before anyone because they had to film the ending scenes like 7 years before it
so
happened. So could you imagine keeping a secret like that? Like you're on one of the most popular TV shows. You know how the show is going to end, and you can't tell anyone because you will go to court and you will lose all of your money.
all right. So I gotta yeah, you would. Um, okay, so this is kind of crazy, and I did not know this. Are you ready for this? This is 19 facts about How I Met Your Mother that I bet you didn't know. Did you know Bob Saget narrates Ted Mosby?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. His
I mean, I
name's
knew
in,
it wasn't Ted.
his name is in the credits every episode.
It's not actually filmed in New York.
No, I'm pretty sure it's filmed in Los Angeles.
Yep, it is. Well, I knew this one. This is actually one I knew that I don't well, Jim Parsons, also known as Sheldon, was supposed to be Barney.
Well, I'm really glad that didn't happen. I love Jim Parsons. I think he's great,
Uh,
but he found his calling when
oh,
he hit Sheldon. Like that's
for sure. Um, Jennifer Love Hewitt, you know who that is?
Mhm.
She was supposed to be Robin.
I don't. I could almost see that. Yeah.
I don't know, because like Robin plays Robin so good.
Yeah. I mean, I like her as an actor, but I kind of disliked what they started doing with her character in the like from the third season on, where they kind of made her this hyper macho person. I didn't get that. Like, there's nothing wrong with being macho, but like she was kind of like a normalish
Mhm.
chick, and then she was like, "Now I'm really into murdering things with guns and stuff." So like, okay,
Yeah,
it's fine. We just found out more about her. I loved her on the show though. I'm not bashing her
yeah.
character or anything.
Okay, so Britney Spears saved the show from being canceled.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I did not know this.
She
These are
was
all
on.
things I did not
She
know.
was on a couple of episodes.
Well, yeah, because she was the receptionist.
Hmm.
A real proposal happened on the show. Like real life, they actually got married. Something Blue
It was
is a
two of the
special.
people in the back, I think, in the one bar
Yeah.
scene or
In the
something.
episode, Robin and Ted are on a date when the waiter mistakenly brings Robin a champagne glass with a ring at the bottom. She freaks out. So does Ted. It's not actually proposing, but it's actually the people in the show him proposing to his woman.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Barty and Robin were never supposed to get together in the show.
They weren't at all, but Neil Patrick Harris, he's kind of the one that almost sort of masterminded that whole thing, right? And they were kind of like, yeah, you're right. Like that should happen.
This is a good one. Ted made Barney sound worse on purpose. Like make him sound worse to the kids on purpose, so they wouldn't judge Ted for getting with Robin at the end.
Probably, yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm like, that's okay. I did not fucking know this. This is awesome.
Here comes truth bombs. Here comes facts.
Neil Patrick Harris' real life husband plays Lily's ex boyfriend.
Scooter, yeah.
Scooter.
Scooter.
Did not know that.
What's his name's husband's on the show too? Lily Aldrin's husband. He plays the lead news guy, Sandy Weathers. I think Robin's husband's on the show too. Gary Blauman, I believe, is her husband. The guy that plays Gary Blauman. See, I know my How I Met Your Mother stuff. I know a little bit. I've watched a lot.
So in season 5, Robin and Lily were both pregnant.
Both pregnant. Yep. There was one episode where you remember when they tell Lily the dirty joke, and she's gone for like 3 or 4 episodes. It's because she was having her baby.
Oh.
They figured out a way to kind of like work it into the show. Like, well, we can't just not have her around, so we could just like not address it, or we could come up with a clever way to do that. So
I saw that. I saw that episode, and I had to look up the dirty joke.
Yeah, I've looked it up too.
Yeah, they used props to hide it all throughout the whole season.
Yeah, it was like handbags and stuff on tables and furniture and yeah.
Yep. Well, obviously, another Barney one. He actually loves magic in real life.
He does. He does magic tricks.
Yeah. So he worked that in. The Bro Code book really does exist. I knew that one.
He actually does do magic tricks. He was on the one show where they build it's custom fish tanks for people. I actually think the show is called Tanked, and his fish tank that he has in his house, it looks like the water tank that Houdini escaped out of. He had one of those custom built in his house. That's pretty sweet.
No way. So all the websites that Barney created are all real.
They're real websites, yeah.
I just went to the Barney Stinson video resume, and it says click here, and then it opens up a pop-up that says
is it still active?
Yeah,
because they bought the
I'm on it right now
for all those websites. I don't know.
I'm on it right now. But... It popped up and it says view it in awesome resolution, view it in not as awesome resolution. And it actually plays the video. That's hilarious. Notafathersday.com. Oh, I did not know that. The character's favorite bar was named after the co-creator's assistant. Clarence. Some fans found out who the mother was from Facebook instead of the episode. How I Met Your Mother's actual page posted a picture of the mother before the show aired on accident.
These things happen.
Victoria would have been the mom if the show had ended early.
I think they had built it up for the show to end at like season 3 or 4, something like that, but it didn't. So,
dude, that's who I wanted to be the mom.
I think out of every person that he dated that we knew of on the show, because we never met really Tracy till the last season, and they didn't really do much with her character. That I think she was still probably one of the best ones. They actually had like really, really good chemistry on screen. I never did care much for the one chick. God, I can never remember her name. The one with the kid that lived in New Jersey. Stella, the one that left him at the altar.
That still throws me through a whirl.
Like,
And that's just a big
I
one.
never did think that they had very good chemistry online or on screen. It always kind of just felt like they were pissed at each other for something.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just no, I never liked that one.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's like I said, that show it's kind of funny to actually sit down because I tell a lot of people like there should be a button on like Hulu, Netflix and stuff. $1 million idea by the way, and I want full credit for this if it happens. A random episode selector. After you fully watch a show, it should activate a button that allows you just to click and hit a random episode.
You mean like a shuffle button?
Yeah.
I think for some shows that would actually work fine. I think for
Yeah.
sitcoms, even though like they have a storyline, it's
Mhm.
not like a major part of it, right? Like there's like an overall story and the episodes do tie together, but when you're watching sitcoms, it's not like watching a crime drama or something where it all
Mhm.
ties together. Like if you miss one, you could not shuffle episodes of 24 and then try to rewatch it
No.
because you're like, wait, what are they talking about? Or you'll, because it just wouldn't be any fun. But like for a sitcom, yeah, I feel like for stuff like The Simpsons or How I Met Your Mother or um, Big Bang Theory, Friends, like people who are really into Friends, like they could sit and watch random episodes of that. So I'm surprised that they don't. I'm honestly I'm surprised that they have not. They don't even need a special button. They can do it within like the app. It wouldn't be that difficult of a thing to implement. I wouldn't think. But what do I know? I'm not. I don't work for
Dude,
Roku or.
I could talk about How I Met Your Mother all day long. I really could.
Yeah,
Cuz
well,
like
I think I've already like dropped all the knowledge from the show that I have. This is why people like me on their trivia teams because I know a bunch of dumb shit that will never help me in life.
oh, this is a good one. So you know Zoe
Mhm.
from the show. Zoe is seen wearing the same wishbone necklace Lily wore in season 1 because she bought it off Lily and Marshall sell their stuff.com.
Yeah, like that's like one of those little weird details of the show that
And then the background thing
no
where
one would know unless they told you.
yeah. Well, the background thing was pretty cool. They have in the whole like scene a couple getting engaged to making a baby, celebrating their kids like graduation to the husband passing away and all in one scene.
Yeah,
It's the same couple like it's like that's pretty cool. Wow. And Barney's flashback to Moscow in 1807, he's drinking a white Russian while James is drinking a black Russian. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. Like I could like I said this kind of stuff Conan was once an extra at McLaren's pub and didn't say a word
yeah,
in the
probably. Is
show. Um the clock in Lily and Marshall's apartment always reads 4:20.
that a weed thing?
Yeah, 4:20.
I mean, because
Hello?
they made a lot of weed references on the show. Like, I didn't realize how many weed references there were in the show, but there's a lot of
The
weed references in
sandwiches,
the show.
the
Yeah,
sandwiches.
all the time. I think one of my favorite episodes is the one where they go to that concert, and Marshall and Lily and Ted. I think Lily might have been pregnant, or she was. I don't know. Not she was not. She didn't eat the sandwiches or whatever. But like Ted
Yeah.
and Marshall definitely did, and like the whole episode is just them trying to figure out how to get to the bathroom. Like it was so good though, because I was like, I've had conversations with people like that who have been stoned out of their fucking minds. I've had that conversation.
I didn't know this. Barney's Christmas trees is covered in ties as ornament.
It kind of
The
makes you
whole
want to go
tree.
back and like watch the episode. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
They also changed the prop in his apartment at some point. When the show first started, he had a clone trooper, and they changed it to a stormtrooper. I don't remember why they changed it, but they did.
I just love everything. Like the whole the whole story behind everything, and obviously like Barney's obsession with Robin's "Let's go to the mall," Robin Sparkles.
That was one of the most interesting, I think, plot twists in a show is making this person who is like so. I mean, I get why they made her character kind of
Yeah.
macho and into sports and stuff. Like she was this musician in Canada or whatever, and it's almost everything she hates, right?
Let's go to the mall.
That song is catchy. Like that'll just stick in your brain for days, you know?
The whole Beaver one, where
Yeah.
they're saying her song is just all like sex references.
So like Alan Thicke was on the show, right?
Yeah,
And he's dead now.
yeah.
And there's 2 or 3 other people that have been on that show that are dead now.
Is it cursed?
I don't think it's cursed. I just think that it's kind of depressing to think about. Like you go back and
Quick,
watch the
someone clip
episodes
the YouTube.
with Alan Thicke, and you're like, oh man, because that dude was funny. It's depressing.
I forgot the video was still playing. I hit the space bar in accident and started playing the Barney is awesome video resume. Oh my gosh. TV shows, like, I mean, it's just like my opinion is
We've talked
there's
about
definitely
the How I Met Your Mother on the show so much that we should change the name of the show to Those Two Nerds Love How I Met Your Mother.
uh, I've tweeted at him multiple times.
Multiple times. Yeah.
I've tweeted at him because like we wore the hanging Chad and the slutty pumpkin
By the way,
for
best
Halloween.
Halloween costumes ever. I
Those are
sent that
good.
out to my one friend, who's a
Mhm.
big fan of the show too, and like she immediately knew what your guys' costumes were, and she's like, "That's awesome," and I was like, "Isn't it though?"
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, the
your
hanging Chad.
costume was legit though. I mean, it was
Oh,
very
to the T.
it was very detail oriented. I mean, it wasn't 100%, but I tell you, in a side by side comparison, it almost looks like you went to the show and you stole the props and you brought them to your house.
Yeah, we because I tagged everybody from the show.
That's an amazing costume. Did you get any kind of response
No.
from anyone with the show or anything?
No.
I just keep posting it then. I just keep doing it because that's the thing when you're dealing with celebrities and things is I don't think that they always if they do handle their own Twitter or whatever, I don't think that they are on it all the time. And you got to think about the thousands of people that are probably tagging them things like "I hate you" and "I
I
hope you
wouldn't
fucking die," you know, because like they probably get a lot of that too.
I wouldn't say they get that daily. I really don't.
What
Unless you were in
the hatred stuff? I think no,
maybe
unless they've done
after
something kind of controversial, then no, I wouldn't think every
I'm
day.
saying like maybe after a show like Joe Manganiello, however you say it. He probably doesn't get tagged all the time.
I bet you he gets tagged 100 or more times a day
Okay.
across the
A lot
entire
of people.
internet.
But like
There's
How
a
I Met
lot
Your
of
Mother
people on
cast.
Twitter.
But How I Met Your Mother cast. Like what has Lily been in since How I Met Your Mother?
Okay, well, I want you to do a thing, do a little bit of research. It's not hard. You can go to Twitter Analytics and you can type up hashtags and tags and see how many times that it's been tweeted. It'll tell you.
It's called Twitter Analytics.
I believe it's something along those lines.
Okay.
And
Twitter
with
Analytics.
the amount of people that are on that show or that are on the internet, right? Where do you think they get all these celebrities reading mean tweets? Because you're sitting around, you're just having like a random thought, right? You're like, man, I hate so and so's face so much. It reminds me of a day old pizza. You know, like, and the difference is like you just think it. They type it out, and they're not the only person that types weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
My Twitter feed is not filled with that kind of stuff because I've kind of got this policy of trying to not be a dick to somebody that makes way more money than me.
Sure. Man, I'm pretty popular.
You have you checked it yourself?
Yeah.
It's pretty neat, right? Like it'll tell you how many times it's been tweeted.
I've tweeted 55 times in 28 days. I have over 16K Twitter impressions on it.
I don't even know what that means.
Means people that have seen it or viewed it.
Cool.
And 500 profile visits.
You know, the most annoying thing is you had 16,000 people that either saw, scrolled past, or what, and like, you didn't get a comment, you didn't get a like, you didn't get the fucking thumbs up, you didn't get a hey, that was funny.
I did make some good ones about the Capitol.
I've had some good tweets this year and in December. Some of them have been pretty
Yeah.
funny.
I'm trying to find one. That's analytics for Twitter. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. Let's look up an at. All right, we're gonna figure this out. Let's find Joe Manganiello's. I don't know how to say it.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, I know he doesn't seem like he's a mega star, but he is. Like, he's been in tons of stuff.
All right. All right. Analyze. One moment, please.
One moment, please. Please, we're loading data.
All right. All right. Please wait while we speak to Twitter. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Man, he just doesn't comment back
No,
a lot.
he can't. How many times is his name mentioned?
This is weird. All right, I don't think that one's right. I really don't.
So while you're looking at data, let's ask another question. Have you ever tweeted out to a company, whether it was a big company, small company, whatever, and then get a response from that company?
So I've got responses
Or
from
even like they liked your tweet
actually
or retweeted your tweet or
Cloud9. Cloud9's great at it. So when I did my computer setup with the Cloud9, um, for Secret Labs, that's one of their big sponsors. That tweet got over 500 likes.
that's pretty sweet.
So yeah, and like I mean, people like Bert Kreischer or Crusher, he's liked my stuff, and I've tweeted him. People like Courage, Tim the Tap Man. I get a lot from people that are more active on social media, as
Hmm.
far as like, because people like that, like they definitely control their social media.
Yeah.
Like they're always on their phone type
You
thing.
you
Like,
can kind of tell like when
oh
they
yeah,
have somebody that's kind of managing their brand and when they have somebody that is doing it themselves or doing a lot of it themselves.
yeah,
Um, and you can tell a lot too because you'll have a person who is more active on Twitter but also puts stuff on Instagram and maybe they don't check the Instagram that much.
yeah,
So, or maybe they don't check the Facebook that much, or maybe they don't check the Snapchat that much, but they're all over Twitter. So,
yeah.
because usually a brand manager or something, they're going to check all that stuff pretty evenly. They're going to
Oh, for sure.
everywhere. Whereas like everyone has a favorite, right? Like my favorite
Yeah,
is Instagram. I love Instagram. And I'd probably say Twitter has become like maybe my second favorite one. I still don't always understand the threads and how they work, but I'm getting the hang of it, and I like it. But there's a lot of like bullshit on there too. There's a lot of negative on there, and I'm
yeah.
not sure what keeps popping up in my feed. It must be from who I'm following, but I get like a lot of OnlyFans tweets talking about like how OnlyFans people are not
Yeah,
they're not prostitutes and stuff. I'm like, I don't even think that. I don't need you to keep reiterating it to me. I know you guys are not prostitutes. I think you guys are scamming dudes out of money, but okay.
that's their
Like
choice. I mean,
I'm not tweeting like you guys are scammers and stop doing and taking stupid people's money. If people want to give you money, then knock yourself out. Who am I to say
that's
that you can't have their money? You're doing it
that's no.
in a completely legal way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're like I said. I mean, right now, I mean, hey, I ain't gonna hate on you for making 100,000 plus. I mean,
No,
it's funny. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it doesn't have to.
good for you. You
You're living
know,
your best life.
especially if you're 20s and you do that for a few years or I don't know. I don't know what the average life expectancy of it. I don't know how long OnlyFans has been around, or like at what point you decide I don't want to be an OnlyFans person anymore. Because
Rack it all up in your 20s and then retire.
yeah, just who cares? Then retire or travel and do things. Go to college in your 30s. Get a degree you actually want. I'm not judging. I don't know what you people do with all your money. You know,
That's kind of how I feel.
buy it on hookers and spend it on hookers and blow for all I care. It's your money. You earned it legitimately.
Yeah,
We
that's
here
a.
on Those Two Nerds don't promote the purchasing of sexual favors for money and or doing cocaine. Um,
But if you do it responsibly.
just just don't. Drugs are bad. Okay, kids.
Jokes are bad, okay? Oh my gosh. That's always a great way to end it, just hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow.
End of show. Stay classy.
Boats and hoes, right? Boats and hoes. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I can't knock on them for
Yeah.
figuring out a way to get people to give them money. I'm still trying to figure out how to take over the internet without taking off my clothes.
Try harder.
But that's because I don't do New Year's resolutions. I've decided that I'm going to take over the internet this year. It's going to be my year,
It's a New Year's resolution.
I guess.
I mean, mine's just to live an more active lifestyle.
Well, and I mentioned this before. No one said that your New Year's resolution has to be good. You could have an evil New Year's resolution.
You can say I'm gonna rob a bank this year. You may be successful.
I don't want to rob a bank.
Not you, anybody.
I guess.
Ball drops, guys like bank robbing time. Let's do it.
I'm gonna become an international diamond thief.
No, don't knock your dreams, kids.
Shoot for the moon. No one can stop you but the police.
Yeah. Just remember, hostage situation gets you 10 more years.
Just let them all go.
Rob them at night.
When you come in, you say, "You guys are all free to go." Then it's not a hostage situation; it's just a robbery.
I always laugh about the the SpongeBob one where like he comes in with like the sock over his head and he's like, "Put the body in the bag." And like he's not even like facing the right way or anything.
Before we go, I just want to make a comment on. I'm not like really a huge SpongeBob fan. Like I think SpongeBob is alright. I don't hate on the show or anything. But I wouldn't say that I have sat around and watched a lot of episodes of SpongeBob. But I'll be goddamned if every time one doesn't come on, I go, man, I've seen this one. And I know I have not watched that many episodes of the show. I know I haven't. You guys weren't like huge into SpongeBob, and your sisters weren't huge into SpongeBob. So I don't know how I've seen all these SpongeBob episodes.
In all honesty, like I appreciate SpongeBob more as a kid, not as a kid, as an adult, than I did as a kid. That show is fucking hilarious.
It's really funny.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely some scenes in there you're like, man, that's sus. But a kid won't understand it. But then you watch it as an adult, you're like, hit, hit. Like,
you do the Ted Mosby naked lady laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, no, I watched. I turned it on. It was Nickelodeon, something online, Hulu, Netflix. I don't know. I was drunk the one night, and it was on, and I was like, I'll watch that. So I watched like 2 or 3 episodes from like later seasons, and I was like, I've seen this. I don't know how I've seen this. I don't know when I would have seen this, but again, I was drunk. Maybe I hadn't actually seen it because like when you're drunk, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen this movie. This is the one where he gets on the train, right? And they're like, there's no such thing as trains. This takes back in place in medieval times. There's no trains. No, he gets on the train. He robs the bank.
Yeah.
No,
my goal is
no
to
trains.
maybe watch Pineapple Express for the first time. Though.
Never seen that one, huh? It's pretty funny.
And I also want to watch 30 Minutes or Less because they're both on Netflix right now.
30 Minutes or Less. I think I saw that one.
That has the same guy from Zombieland. It has the comedian, the Indian comedian. The dude with the neck brace from Pineapple Express. That's like, he reminds me a lot of Jason. And I can't remember who the other guy. Oh, and Nick Swanson. Or
Nice.
Swartz.
So I watched Superbad the other night.
That movie is so funny.
The one dude's in that, and I didn't realize he was in it. The guy that's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He plays Boyle on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
I totally did not remember that he was in that movie.
Yeah.
And he is so funny. I love that dude. That dude is
like
God, he makes me laugh.
Superbad, I'm not even gonna lie. That movie is probably my all-time favorite movie.
It definitely ranks up there. It's on my list.
Because I just sit there the whole time.
For comedies though, like because it's funny almost every time I watch it.
Oh yeah.
I laugh out loud almost every time I watch it.
You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. Well, funny thing about that, it's located on my cock. Yeah, like it's so funny, and because it just and like I said, the whole home ec scene, so funny
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
with
He's like, no
fuck.
offense to your profession. He goes, but I'm like, I wash and dry. I'm a single mother over here.
And then Fogel, what's up, gangsters?
I think that was the first movie he was ever in.
Yeah, like I said,
He came back. He was in Kick-Ass Part 1 and 2. I don't know if you ever saw those.
another funny one. Yeah,
I
like
loved
I said,
I loved both of the Kick-Ass movies. I thought both those were pretty good.
when I watched Superbad for the first time, and every time that bottle of fucking lube scene comes up, I piss my pants laughing every time. Oh, you brought me lube. Would have never been able to fit the 3-inch tip without this bottle of lube. And then
Yeah.
then when they talk about the breast reduction, like that whole like mini mart scene is hilarious.
Well, and Bill Hader is he plays the one cop.
Yeah,
A-
because he's partnered
And
with Seth Rogen.
he's so damn funny. I love Bill Hader.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie that he was in, no matter what he's doing in the movie, that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
I didn't care much for him when he did stuff on Saturday Night Live, but he is a funny dude. I really like that guy.
And he always pretty much plays the same character.
Well, I liked him a lot in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he played the one dude's husband, and like he was telling him like you need to go on vacation or you need to get out, and then he was talking shit about his wife or something. He's like, "That is the mother of my children. I will end you." And I'm like, "Whoa!" Bill Hader gets really
Yeah.
intense. But
Yeah.
he was in
You need to
in Adventureland too. He
Mhm.
played like the manager of the park. Which, by the way, did you know that Jesse Eisenberg and what's her face, Kristen Stewart, they have been in 3 movies together?
Mm. I didn't know
Neither
that.
did I. I found that out on the day after Christmas when I watched all 3 movies that they have been in together. They were in Adventureland together, and I watched
Mhm.
them in this order. I watched Adventureland, and then I watched American Ultra,
Yeah.
and then I watched this other movie. It was called Cafe Society, which was a Woody
Mhm.
Allen movie. And I have never, like I've never really cared much for Woody Allen movies. Like I think some of his stuff is pretty funny, but I hated the way this movie ended. It just made me really angry. It just made me really upset. So Woody Allen, if you're watching, I thought the whole movie was great. It's an Amazon original movie. The whole movie was great up until the end, and I get it. It's not like I didn't get it. I know what you were trying to do. I just didn't like it. It just made me upset. That's just sorry.
It's just how it goes.
They
Way
did a
to
great job. They were both really funny in the movie though. So
Yeah.
anyway, I think that's it. I think we've enough stuff for today.
Yeah, we talked about How I Met Your Mother, which is always fun. We talked about the Tetris champion, R.I.P. to him.
Yeah.
I mean, and we talked about movies. I mean, what more can you ask from those 2 nerds?
I don't know. Did you see that I bought the tower?
I did. I thought it was pretty sweet.
It's
The picture through the door was pretty cool.
it's beautiful. It's the coolest thing I think I've ever bought.
And you have nobody to play with.
And no one will play Dungeons and Dragons with me, but it's pretty dope. It's huge.
Yeah.
The
Like I
box,
said,
I actually had a hard time getting it in my car
why?
because it's huge.
Oh.
The
Well,
tower
like I said,
is
once
I
I
don't know. It's
think,
big.
no joke, I think we should set up something once COVID's kind of dying down-ish. Like an actual in-game person, maybe once every 2 weeks, one-shot campaign
Well,
using miniatures.
that's funny that you mentioned that because we've had a lot of fun with the one shot experiences. The Crinkle Fest that I ran and the Shrine of the Kobold Queen, which you weren't there for that. You weren't there for the other one either. I know you had stuff going on, but pretty good responses from both. So I've
Oh, yeah.
invested in basically the entire series of they're called Epic Encounters. They can be run at any level because the adventures scale. You can string 2 of them together to make like a longer game session, or they go about anywhere
Yeah.
between 3 and 5 hours depending on your party and what you're doing with it. But the neat thing about it is that you could actually string all those together into like
Mhm.
one story if you really wanted to. So that way you don't feel like you have to keep making new characters.
Yeah.
But if you only get
Yeah.
in, you only get to play one of them. You're like, all right, cool, I got to do that one, and then you don't get to play again for a couple of months or whatever. You don't have to try to remember what was going
You got
on.
your
Or
you got your D&D fix.
yeah, you're good. But I also, this is one of the things I wanted you to come and help me unbox. I should have had you help me come unbox the tower, dude. It was dope. But there was a lot of other channels that I've already done it, so I was like, I can't compete with that. I have Dungeon in a Box coming.
Okay.
It's a subscription service.
When will it be here?
It should be here probably in early November or early February. So it's gonna be a
Okay.
couple weeks.
I'll be there.
How it works is they have a bunch of like RPG crates, and the ones I looked into, no offense to those other companies, they just weren't up my alley. The one is called Dungeon Crate. They give you like a bunch of random things. Like it's dice, and sometimes they throw a couple miniatures in there, and like these token markers and stuff. And they're all things that are supposed to kind of like help you play the game, or they're the kind of nerdy things. It's kind of like Loot Crate, but if everything was like Dungeons and Dragons themed or role playing game themed. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's cool, but that's just like it's not really what I'm looking for. I need stuff that's gonna help me get, like you said, these one shot things, get them on the table, play for 3 or 4 hours and be done, and then you had a whole complete experience. So how Dungeon in a Box works is when you start, they send you the first part of their story, and then you can run that as a one shot and you're done if you want to.
Yeah.
Then next month they'll send you the next part, which again you can run that as a one shot if you want to,
Mhm.
but they tell an overall story arc. So after you've been subscribed for 1 year, you have a full story.
Mhm.
And the one that I got into, I believe, is like pirate themed.
Okay.
So you actually get a ship that you get to upgrade with upgrades each adventure. You get to visit all these like crazy islands. Like the one looked like it was Jack and the Beanstalk ish,
Okay.
where you fight a dragon or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I only looked at the box. But the one guy he was doing like a non-spoiler review of it, he said he's like, "Did you ever see the movie Honey I Shrunk the Kids?" I was like, "I loved Honey I Shrunk the Kids." That's one of the game sessions. It's kind of like you shrink down to like an inch
Miniature.
tall, and you're helping these like insect people defend their kingdom. So like, I want to do one of the unboxings with you because of all the stuff that comes in it, and kind of like get your
Okay.
first
I'm
impressions
down.
of
I'm
like
down.
is this worth the money? Like, I'll tell you what it costs. We won't discuss that now. I'll tell you later. And then you'll go, well, this is what you get for your money. Do you think that it's cool? Do you think it's not worth the money?
I'm down.
Cool.
I'll be there. Whatever day it comes out, we'll shoot the video or whatever.
Okay. Now that I've
Alright.
got a tripod and a really, really bright ring light, so now we can do that. So
Sounds good. But
we're
ladies
done.
and gentlemen,
We're actually done now.
episode 75 is in the books. Go Browns tonight, hopefully, and then go Ohio State because they play tomorrow in the national championship.
On a Monday?
So,
Is that normal?
yes, most national championships are in Monday.
Okay. I don't really watch sports.
Yeah, but go Browns. They play the Steelers to see if they advance in the playoffs.
Man, they got to beat them again, huh?
They gotta beat them again.
And they have their whole team now.
So does the Browns.
I watch a little bit of Sports Center.
Yeah, a little bit. I get notifications on my phone.
Actually, there's a lot of people I work with. They're huge Browns fans. Like,
yeah, so it should be good.
huge,
It should be a good matchup. I mean, Browns look good. Steelers also look good. But we shall see. So hopefully it's a good weekend for Ohio.
You probably never thought that you'd hear Browns in the playoff, right?
I did. I mean, yeah, I think your time's eventually. If the Cubs can win the World Series, I think the Browns can win something.
Yeah, but the Cubs hadn't even been that close for like 60 years.
Yeah, I know.
It was
The
a way,
Browns.
it was a way longer losing streak than the Browns.
Yeah, a little bit. But
Anyway,
but that's
good luck, Ohio.
Yep, that's episode 75, guys. Thank you guys all so much. I'm Beer Coach.
And I am Nictus from Nictus Plays Games.
And we are signing off. Stay classy, San Diego.
All right, I'm gonna hit the exit video now. Like,
Boop.
I'm just gonna record you doing that, and that's gonna be our new intro music.